Hello, hello. What up, gamers? Welcome, welcome. Yo. What up, PJB 1989? Appreciate you stopping by, and thank you for the nice comment on my video today. 500 subs, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Feels like, I mean, this is my first time really doing a real stab at this YouTube thing, but I guess I won't compare myself to other creators or whatever, or other YouTube people, but I'm pretty happy with the jump. How quickly I went from 0 to 100 and then 100 to 500. Appreciate all of y'all coming along for the ride. Hi, Olivia. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by here. Welcome, welcome. Been fun. It's been fun making these videos. You know, I don't love every deck I put out, but I think the majority are pretty fun, and that's kind of all that matters to me. Obviously, we can't have success with every list, but yeah, I've been having fun with this. Coming up with new stuff, being challenged by viewers and commenters to come up with new ideas and explore different cards. So appreciate you guys stopping by for the stream today. We're gonna be running Cathartic Kithkin into a traditional standard event. What up, Jay Sather? Appreciate you stopping by. Cathartic Kithkin into a traditional standard event today. I fucking love this list. I think this list is really, really sweet. Big shout out to who was it that donated to see this initially? Well, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting. Let me I've had a couple Nacho. Big shout out to Nacho once again. Thank you, Nacho, for making the initial donation to have me explore Catharsis, because we've landed on something I think that personally I find to be very, very fun. I think Catharsis is a really interesting card, slept on a little bit by the nature of it just being a 6 mana, like 8 power of haste, spread out across creatures, and then the way it synergizes with this list, making Kithkin, having multiple bodies enter at the same time. If you haven't seen the video yet, super fun. You have this list on order in paper? Let's go. Honestly, same. Because it's really sweet, actually. I don't know if you've been playing it on MTGA quite yet, Jay Sather, but it's surprisingly powerful, I think. The cheap creatures are good, but scale nicely. The like 2-drops are all pretty powerful. I've been really impressed by Bristlebane Battler a lot in my aggro lists lately. And the Eclipsed Kithkin being just like an Elvish Visionary, like a consistently better Elvish Visionary. Occasionally it could theoretically whiff, but not too likely with how this list is built. Yeah, I'm just missing the couple Sacred Foundries in paper, as well as the Sunbillow Verges, but I honestly think you could skip the Sunbillow Verges for just more basics, maybe. I don't know. Anywho, yeah, super fun list. Glad to hear that you're deciding to build it in paper. Let's hop into a traditional standard event with it. And hopefully did I go 4-1 and 4-1 in both of the videos with it? I think so. It'd be nice to pull out a 5-0. Really cement this list in as a pretty successful guy. I'm a hoax watching with my GF's premium YouTube account. Okay, that's totally cool. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I don't know what else to say to that, Olivia, man. Welcome on in. Appreciate you stopping by. Devin Fuller asks, are you going to try the metagame challenge? What is the metagame challenge? Is this like a scheduled event? If so, sure, I'm interested. I'm down. I just don't know anything about it. Okay. Match 1. On the draw, kind of getting a little screwed for our lack of green mana in this opener. Doesn't happen too often, but we'll just put this back, no problem. The triple slug. Triple snail. The old triple snail. What up, Moonello? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Triple snail, huh? Yeah? I guess I'll just put one back. Figure of Fable into double snail with an extra land drop. I think that seems okay. The old triple snail. Opponent leads on a plane. See what kind of spice we're in for today. I don't know why I have a tendency to shock in before playing a basic. It's not the end of the world, but I probably could just get away with playing the planes first. Will not really matter here. Opponent plays a turn 2 Rest in Peace. Luckily, we don't care about that at all. Ooh, War Leader's Call. Interesting. Okay. That's actually a really nice draw. I'm still going to go for the double Kithkin here, I think. Although, maybe if they're on main deck Rest in Peace, there's an argument to assume that they're on main deck board wipes, in which case it's probably better to just level up my Figure of Fable here. Probably could have played a tap Stomping Ground. The extra life won't really matter here. I'm going to opt to just present the Figure of Fable as a threat here. A little bit of a sequencing error, but probably won't punish us too badly with the main deck Rest in Peace. We'll go for a turn 3 War Leader's Call. There's the Caretaker's Talent. Once again, got to assume they're on board wipe, so I think I want to maximize the damage from my ETBs here. Get the War Leader's Call on the field first. They could get lost to this, but that's okay. And then there's also maybe even an argument, after drawing this Eclipsed Kithkin, there's maybe an argument for fully casting this Catharsis on 6th mana, because we're not too unlikely to hit another land off of this Eclipsed Kithkin. We could actually just spend this turn leveling up the Figure of Fable, really draw this one out. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna swing in, level up the Figure of Fable here, make them deal with this. I don't need to feed into the board wipes, and actually next turn I can just go like evoke both of the catharses. First one for double white, second one for double red, and I think that'll probably kill my opponent with all the War Leader's Call triggers as well. A few different things to consider here. Man, this card is actually kind of sick. It's actually kind of sick. Devin Fuller said, it's a best of 3 event arena, runs every so often, 7 wins rewards 30 packs, but you only get 1 loss. Interesting regarding the metagame challenge. Okay. Curious to know when those come around. Let's go with our Voice of Victory here, and then cast this Eclipsed Kithkin. No real need to go crazy and just like start evoking these catharses. I feel like I might as well just, with 2 in hand, no pressure from our opponent, guarantee that I just like fully cast both of these basically. Well, we miss a land drop off of this Eclipsed Kithkin. That's okay. Let's take the Brigid. 2 more ETB triggers, and then they're almost certainly dead to just play the Brigid next turn, evoke for double red on the Catharsis. Ball's in their court. Cathari. Ball's in their court. Enora. Ann Orange Agent says, yo, Eric, sweet decks. I'm picking up Catharsis and some Kithkins today. Let's frickin' go, dude. There's the Day of Judgment. There's the Kinsbale Aspirant. They're like certainly dead to this, right? Play the Brigid. Ping them for 2. And actually double warp the Catharsis on red? I don't know if I've done that in this list yet. Maybe once. Pretty sweet, kind of out of nowhere. It's really a sick tool that that the green-white aggro lists don't ever really get. It's just kill you out of nowhere sort of hasty stuff. I mean, sometimes they get it in green, but pretty nicely baked into this list. Okay. Against mono-white tokens, let's bring in the Wreck Raids, bring in the Get Losts. I have a feeling they're going to cut down on their Rest in Pieces. We probably want the Ajanis. Just give us a little extra grind. I think we can almost afford to entirely cut the Shelter by Ghosts here. Pretty susceptible to like just getting answered by a board wipe, I guess. Seam Rips. I mean, everything's kind of good here, no? I think the Seam Rips are decent. At the very least, they answer our opponent's Seam Rips, but maybe that's not enough of a reason to keep them in. We'll just opt for the Wreck Raids instead. Get Losts. This all looks pretty good. Maybe an argument for Split Up or Pyroclasm. Yeah, I don't know. There's maybe an argument for Split Up or Pyroclasm. That's not really the axis on which I think I want to fight them, though. Under Nacho, appreciate you stopping by, brother. Yeah, I was glazing you a little bit at the top of the stream. You are responsible probably for a little bit of an uptick in Catharsis sales. Maybe. I mean, I bought my playset, so you at least got one customer. This is a pretty good hand here. Definitely going to keep this. Turn 2 Battler into turn 3 Evoke the Catharsis. Big triggers. Authority of the Consuls. Okay. Well, that's actually going to be pretty good against us, but we do draw into a turn 1 Kinsbale Aspirant. I mean, the curve out is actually insane, right? The potential damage here. Getting a little stifled by the Authority of the Consuls. Going to give them a decent amount of damage. Maybe one reason to keep in the Seam Rip, because it is pretty good against our list here. PJB says, yeah, this deck is one of my favorites from this channel. Dude, me too. I don't know, just kind of out of nowhere. It's super fun. Go for a Battler here. Can't swing into this Knight, unfortunately. Pass it back. This is unchanged from my 2 Catharsis videos, by the way. So if you're curious if there have been any updates to the list, and you can find the deck list in the description of the stream. Well, actually, you can find a link to my Mox Field now. Off of Scryfall officially. All of my new stuff will be put onto Mox Field, which should collect the deck lists a little more nicely. Let's go ahead. I mean, we're still just going to do it. It's just a lot of damage. Even if they wipe the board, I'm not loving that, but they only have 3 cards in hand. The potential damage here is pretty high, and we are the aggro, so we jam. They're going to gain a bit of life, but we're going to permanently scale our Battler here in the process. Swinging for 9. Kind of thinking they might chump here and wipe the board. But that gives me a window to get Lost the Caretaker's Talent. Olivia says, you once said you don't like a Johnny on the play or draw. Why? Or was it list... this matchup... Was it matchup specific? It just kind of depends. It kind of depends on the matchup. I feel like I like it on the play if I have... I guess it just depends on the matchup. Like, I like it on the play in control matchups. Like, if I'm against a grindier deck, like, jamming a turn 3 a Johnny is a pretty good way to win those games, or at least, like, force your opponent, like, 2-for-1 your opponent, at the very least. On the draw, it's pretty good into aggro, I think, because you're going to be able to make use of its -4 a little better. Assuming your opponent swings in with their 2-drop, you can play a Johnny on turn 3 and get him. It's pretty decent there, I think. Well, I'm just going to jam the War Leader's Call here. Keep up the aggro. They could have a Get Lost in hand for this, but the potential damage here is pretty high. 3 cards in hand for my opponent. Free gold in the store, by the way. You heard it here first, folks. Free gold in the store. It's free real estate. They get lost. They get lost, my guy. Well, we get maps. Let's go ahead and start popping the maps. I guess I might as well go on a token here. Crossing my fingers for lands. There's a land. Pretty sweet. We do have the potential set up to, like, get lost the Authority of the Consuls and then fully cast the Catharsis. There's a Day of Judgment. Restless Prairie. Okay. Let's just pass here. We can get lost the Caretaker's Talent, then get lost the Authority. Deny them some extra draws that way. Go for this. Go for this. Restless Prairie also on the field. They're going to be able to activate this Caretaker's Talent to redraw by copying a map. There's our Ajani friend, but we're just going to jam. What up? It's just a 8 damage hasty 6-drop. It's kind of sweet. Creates a nice little board out of nowhere to fire up with the Restless Prairie here. See if they have an answer to this. Virtual Loyalty and Exile not looking too good. Get Lost on the Catharsis, but still, this is a lethal board with the Restless Prairie. They have a map. Oh, they have a Demolition Field. Okay, well, they have a Demolition Field. Good point, me. Thank you, me. Crack a map on a Kithkin. I guess it's just an Ajani angle. Let's keep cracking maps for a little bit. Okay. All right. I think I might as well just commit to the board here. Go for the Thought Weft Lieutenant. Interesting that this enters and targets something. Giving it 1/1 and trample here. Play our Ajani. Nacho asks, what are you playing tonight at the LGS, Eric? I think I'm playing Jund Deserts. Surprise, surprise. I think I'm playing Jund Deserts. After this stream, I'll maybe have an hour before I have to head out, and I have Bright Glass Control and Jund Deserts put together. I played Bright Glass Control last week, probably just going to end up on Jund Deserts tonight. I really have an itch to play Sultai Deserts in paper, though, again, which is, you know, really, really near and dear to my heart. A super fun paper list. And there's a lot of control in my meta right now. I feel like it might have a better time into the current meta. But I don't know. Haven't fully decided. I might start playing this list in paper soon enough. Opponent's at 6. I think we're going to win this one. They've pretty much almost completely tapped out. They're not leaving up the Demolition Field. We're going to be able to give trample to our Restless Prairie. They're just going all in here. Just 2 blockers. We draw a Bristlebane Battler. Does that matter? I guess it gives us another source of trample. So we'll fire up the Restless Prairie, trigger the Thought Weft Lieutenant here, give 1/1 and trample to our biggest creature, play another Battler, 1/1 and trample to our second largest creature, swinging with everything. I guess you could shock in and crack a map, but I don't think it super matters here. Devin Fuller says, Catharsis is way too disrespected among the elementals. I disrespected it a little bit at first. I saw it and I said, it's hard to imagine a scenario where this is super, super good. It's just like generically make creatures. But I think what I didn't realize on first read, first off, I assumed it didn't think about the fact that it buffs itself. So it just kind of out of nowhere for 6 mana produces a pretty good swing / board. And also the extra body evoke part, the way that synergizes with the Kithkin specifically, it's very nice. I keep harping on that point, but it's really something I missed at first glance. Yeah, genuinely, honestly, when I first saw the card, or when Nacho first asked me to explore it a little more, I said, I know it makes Kithkin, and that was basically the initial thought. But I guess I didn't really fully understand how much it synergized with the rest of the Kithkin until I started like actually casting it. Pretty good first match. Into match 2 here. I think this is good enough. It's not perfect. A little land heavy. I like how Figure of Fable scales nicely with this kind of hand, though. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. Hey. Could potentially crew the wagon, too. That's true. Yeah, I thought about that. But I feel like most of the time you just want to evoke it for the double white in like that sort of like fair scenario where you're just making a board. Like, you know, actually, I guess if you... Yeah, I guess either mode would, right? Because you can make the 1/1s. Basically, depending on how you stack your triggers, you could like crew a wagon with a 1/1 plus a 3 power Catharsis. Okay, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and lead on this Aspirant here. Behold. What up, HVTNZ? Eric is always looking sharp. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you. I think Wagon was missing from Sultai Desert's list, says Turd Gobbler. What up, Turd Gobbler? I feel like there aren't enough basics in Wagon, or in Deserts, to justify it. I've thought about it quite a lot. The other problem is you're really contested for 3-drop spots. Maybe one could play okay. Like, you're definitely playing 3 basics, but I don't know if that's enough to justify the wagon. Blossoming Sands. Well, all right. We're in it now. Opponent has a little Blossoming Sands action. We're on Boros Kithkin here. Hit you for 3. Pass it back. Threatening to level up this Figure of Fable pretty nicely over the course of these turns. Extremely versatile facial hair, Eric. Every video is a surprise. Thank you. Thank you. Most of the time I just let my my facial hair grow out and then I just shave it all at once. I've only lately begun dipping into the possibility of what if mustache. What if mustache? But to be honest, my wife hates the mustache. So it creates some tension in the household. Draw a Bristlebane Battler. Wary Thespian, huh? I think I'm just gonna start swinging in with the Figure of Fable. See if they fall for that. I don't even want them to fall for it, honestly. See if they just block this here. HVTNZ says, yeah, I've seen a Sultai control list using Wagon. Looks good. Yes, I mean, I've definitely seen that for sure, and it does look good, with the Riddlers being able to crew and the Evoke Elementals being able to crew nicely. Hope you're well, says Turd Gobbler. Appreciate you, dude. Hope you are well as well. Looking forward to playing your list after this. For those that want to stick around, after this traditional event, we'll be running Turd Gobbler's Simic Otter combo list. Donated very generously. Appreciate you. Shout out. Donated to see it played, and I figured this stream would be a good opportunity to do it. I'm going to play it unchanged, probably for at least a few ranked matches. Give some thoughts, and then maybe in a future video I'll explore what I would do if I had a take on it. At the very least, I'll give some thoughts after after a few matches. I've played around with it a little already, just to get my bearings. It's definitely a style of deck that I'm not super used to. So I was like, I just gotta at least figure this out up front, so I don't like super duper embarrass myself on stream when I play it. Pretty straightforward plan here. Just flood the board. Let's just assume that they don't have anything super real going on. I think I'm going to grab a Thought Weft Lieutenant here, just to be able to access Trample for my Figure of Fable. Try an evil goatee, Turd Gobbler says. I don't know. I feel like the goatee is definitely not it for me. My uncle sported a goatee for a long time, and well, that was the early 2000s for you folks. Temple of Plenty. Enter Scry 1. Well, I think I'm thinking we're gonna win this one. And can I also say, very weird that this is not the first time I've run into Wary Thespian in these standard events. You never really know what to expect. You never really know what to expect. I wonder if it's the same person. Just start playing our Kithkin here. Our best swing probably involves giving this Kinsbale Aspirant Trample a little buff. I think I'm just going to play another Kinsbale Aspirant. Or sorry, another Bristlebane Battler. Let's give the Figure of Fable Trample. And now they don't really have any great trades. Swing with everything. Yeah, makes sense to me. Mr. Lip says, I've been running Simic Otters with the 2-mana Dork Frogs. Kinda gas, much better than Fur.core, Core, in my opinion. Mana Dork Frogs. Which Mana Dork Frogs? Kill my opponent. On to the next one. Mana Dork Frogs. Not ringing a bell. Let's just run it back. I guess I could bring in the split ups. I'm going to bring in the split ups out of respect for my opponent. Let's go down the War Leader's calls here. I mean, they're fine. Out of respect for my opponent, I'm going to bring in the split ups. Just 2 at least. Let's go, Big W. What up, IZ22? What the fuck is up, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Folks, it's my good friend IZ22 from real life. What the fuck is up, dude? Any tournaments coming up? I saw there wasn't anything posted today. Oh, my opponent gives me the play. I mean, I'm going to keep it. No green, but decent curve out otherwise. Decent curve out otherwise. Christian Garcia Rodriguez says, thank you for not playing the same boring, in my opinion, decks as everyone else. And thank you for watching my not, hopefully, boring decks. Yeah, I try my best. At least half of the fun of Magic for me is the expression of deck building, you know? And of course, when you play off meta, it's kind of interesting because you're like fundamentally being a little hipster-ish by not playing the quote-unquote like generically good stuff, Badgermole Cub, Riddlers, etc., etc. But you can do a little bit mix of both, I guess, at the same time. I just find that, like, as someone that likes to play Magic on a budget, you have to get kind of creative, you know? And I think the two kind of go hand in hand. Go ahead and play our Battler, swing with the Voice of Victory. Pretty good draw there with that untapped green source. Start buffing the Battler here. Looking pretty good for us. I mean, opponent is doing helpful hunter things, you know. They also gave me the play, which I don't really understand. IZ22 says, first major next week, disc golf major, folks. Jomez Pro. If you're not watching disc golf, get in on it. The post-production quality is outstanding. You can find it for free on YouTube. Go to Jomez Pro. Watch some professional disc golf. Fuck yeah. First major next week. Okay. Is that Champions Cup? Or is that too soon? Might be the Champions Cup. Izzy also says, find some decks to rejuvenate you. Yes, dude, we're playing Cathartic Kithkin today. You've got this 6 mana Elemental Incarnation snail guy that enters and makes these little dudes called Kithkin. And we like when we make a lot of Kithkin, basically, is how this deck works. I'm going to go ahead and just play this Restless Prairie. You know what? Let's run it. Evoke a Catharsis here. Bunch of triggers for the Battler. We're big. Swing on in. I know I would have gotten some triggers swinging with the Voice anyway, but let's jam. Hilson says, I ran this for like 8 games yesterday. Couldn't get it to work for me, really. Really wanted some card advantage. Interesting. What were you playing against, out of curiosity, Hilson? I feel like it could be tough into control with board wipes and whatnot, but to be honest, I don't run into control that often these days. Every now and then, for sure, but... And if you wanted to add card advantage, you have a lot of good options, actually, I think. Enduring Innocence plays very nicely with all of our token generators and relatively small bodies. Bright Glass Gearhulk actually finds quite a lot of relevant stuff for the list. You also have just like decent planeswalkers in these colors, Ajani and Elspeth. A lot of options. Yeah, I mean, if you're running into control, I can see why this might not be your cup of tea. Yeah, but definitely there are some options that you can at least put in the sideboard or even the main board to help fix that. IZ22 asks, a new Magic player, so let's be kind. Are most decks built around just 1 or 2 cards? So in Magic the Gathering, IZ, a good teachable moment while we absolutely ranch my opponent playing Helpful Hunter and Dawning Marshal. Magic decks are built of 60 cards. 60 cards, and you can only have 4 of any individual card. So I can only have a max of 4 Bristlebane Battlers, a max of 4 Catharsis, a max of 4 Get Losts, so on and so forth. So naturally, you have to build a deck that, yes, I'm kind of built around Catharsis, but at the same time, Catharsis might not come up in every game. So I have to have a whole cohesive 60-card strategy. I can't just rely on like drawing my Catharsis every game, usually. Mr. Lip says, turn 2, play a frog. Turn 3, flash in a flood caller. Turn 4, play a few spells and win. Oh, yeah, because it untaps the frogs too. Poison Dart Frog. Okay. That's cool. Opponent casts a Banishing Light, and they die to my 1/1 Kithkin. It's all up to you now, Jeremy. Okay. 2-0. 2-0. Keep it running. Keep it running. On to the next one. Caretaker's Talent. Caretaker's Talent. I feel like I think you can get away with Enduring Innocence, no? There's not a whole lot of Torch in the meta. And I don't know, we're not making enough tokens probably for Caretaker's Talent, I think. That's my first instinct. Well, 2-0 in this best of 3 standard event. Pretty good opener here. We just get to roll out a bunch of Kinsbale Aspirants into a Voice of Victory. Synergizes very nicely. Behold the Aspirant. I think I'm actually just going to go, oh, Bossing Say. Yeah, I think I'm feasting here. I think they're actually just fucking dead next turn. I mean, at the very least, they're dead on turn 4. So I play another Aspirant. Holy shit. Tapped Bossing Say. Huge. Huge. Roll out the dudes. Okay. Your go. Oh, Island? Shared Roots. Island Shared Roots. Into a swamp. What could that possibly mean? Voice of Victory. They have to kill my Voice of Victory or they die. Hit them for 7. Dude, these curve outs with the Kinsbale Aspirants are crazy. I always thought this was, like, strong straight from spoiler season, basically. Having to Behold a Kithkin is a big knock, but just the fact that it says whenever another creature you control enters and it doesn't even reference Kithkin, that's pretty nuts. Okay, play another Voice of Victory here. Trigger my guys, and they scoop. Great. I mean, the curve out was nuts. The curve out was nuts. On to game 2. I'm going to assume Requiting Hex, Shared Roots. Was that Sultai? It's got to be Ice Till Explorer. Maybe some kind of like self-mill affair. I'm going to call my shot. I'm going to bring in 1 Rest in Peace. Is that crazy? And the Ajani's. And I think I'm going to go down the Seam Rips. We didn't really see very much from our opponent, but I also think maybe you could make an argument for Get Lost here. Reanimator's a good guess, but why would they be on the Shared Roots? Dragons. Yeah, this is always a fun guessing game, huh? Part of what makes being able to play against such a wide field interesting. You know, back in the day, I bet people were just showing up to F&M and Jimmy was on the same deck every week, you know? And that I feel that a little now, but with very, very limited information, we saw Requiting Hex, Shared Roots, in 3 colors. What do you think? I think I get to go down a land at the very least. Oh, 22? Probably not then. Let's go down a Brigid. Try it like that. Maybe Ugin. Okay, that's actually a pretty good guess, Nacho. I think Ugin's a good guess. But almost certainly it means board wipes. Ugin is a pretty good guess. I feel like people love their Shared Roots Ugin piles. Jay Sather asks, how do you feel about the shuffler on Arena? I get flooded way more often compared to in Paper. I'm guessing it's just random. And it's not a very exciting answer. I don't know. There might be some element to it where Arena presents a truly random shuffled pile, but the bar for what is a shuffled pile in Paper Magic is a little lower than truly random. The math says that you need to shuffle 7 times, like riffle shuffle 7 times for your deck to be sufficiently random. But that doesn't mean it hasn't been at least slightly like sorted still post shuffle, right? It just means you don't know where the cards are in your deck. That's my take on it. So all of that is to say, I do understand where you're coming from, that sometimes it feels like in Paper, or on Arena specifically, you just get these like huge land clumps that you might not necessarily experience in Paper to the same degree. But at the same time, it's fine. It's all Magic. It's all pretty much the same. Pizza combo. Could be pizza combo. I did play against someone just playing pizzas on in one of these events the other day. It was pretty fun. Ugin, says Devin. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge Ugin fan. Opponent keeps a hand of 7 cards. 1 figure, a fable, and a dream. I think I'm going to put this back. Could be good if we draw into action, but might as well mulligan it into action. I love this. I think I can afford to put back a Restless Prairie here. Let's just lead on a Prairie. Turn 2 Battler. Turn 3, I might just rip the Evoke Catharsis plan. Another Battler. Quickly becoming one of my favorite cards. Just this scenario exactly where you get to tap out and cast it. Ward 2. Okay, your go, you know. Summon Fenrir. Summon Fenrir. Stomping Ground. Well, I'm all in. I don't know about y'all, but at this spot, I'm going all in. Evoke the Catharsis. A lot of little bodies coming in. Now, are you committing Figure Fable to this position? You have a big enough Battler. You can swing in through the Fenrir. I know I said I was all in, but at the same time, if their next card is like, or their next play is land plus Deadly Cover-Up, being down a Figure Fable, it kind of hurts a little bit. It kind of hurts a little bit. I think I'm just going to swing here and pass. Kind of hurts a little bit. We have a good enough board, right? I don't know that our board gets that much better if we play a Figure Fable there. Anti-casual Vestige. Coming to clean up the casuals. I don't know if I've ever been impressed by this card. It seems fine in the Teamer Battle Crier combo lists. Let's go for the Eclipsed Kithkin. Nino asks in the chat, "Hi bro, will you play my deck? I'll sub if you do. It's probably not much, but I need opinions on this real bad." I have 2 options for you. You can donate, which you can find details for in the description of this or my channel or a lot of other places, and get in contact with me on Discord, and I'll play your deck on stream, right? Option 2, you can join the Discord and just link the deck list in the Discord, and I'll take a look at it. No promises that I'll play it, but if you want some feedback, I'm happy to take a look. Play a land. I think I'm just going to stay the course here. Keep swinging. I feel like Nacho's guess that this is an Ugin list has been pretty well confirmed with the anti-casual Vestige sighting. So I think I'm just going to swing in here. Hit you for 5. Hold up the Get Lost. Battler dodging the Ugin cast is pretty nice. There's a board wipe. You can find my Discord in my channel description. So if you go to my YouTube channel, it's right there. I'll link it in the description of these streams in the future. But that's where you can find it. Destroy all creatures. Rise of Sozin, huh? Do I Get Lost this now? Do I care that much? I'm definitely losing my board. If I Get Lost this now, I lose Get Lost, which sounds obvious, but if they play an Ugin in the future, I'm a little afraid of that. On the other hand, this denies them the option of taking cards out of my deck, which is kind of small. But the real issue is this eventually flipping into a real creature. Play the Battler. I guess I just kind of have no choice but to go all in here. Hope I dodge another board wipe. Because if I commit to the board hard here, and they just have, like, play anti-causal Vestige, I get to Shelter by Ghosts, level up the Figure Fable, swing in. Yeah, I don't know. Being on the draw here a little tough, perhaps. We're definitely still in that, like, Catharsis is a really nuts top deck territory. I feel like there's no reason to scoop until we see them land an Ugin and start gaining life, you know? Devin Fuller says, I know it's not the best card, but I do love Sozin. I actually really like this card too. I think it's hampered a lot by the fact that it's 6 mana, but you do kind of get a lot for 6 mana. The other main problem is when it flips, it takes a turn to be able to attack. Sounds a little obvious. It's just slow. It's not bad though. I really don't think it's bad. Plays a swamp. Let's see the Ugin. Show me my friend Eugene. Day of Black Sun. No! Well, alright. With the wagon. Good to get a little more information as to what we're playing against here. I don't know. I don't think I scoop quite yet. I don't think I'm going to scoop quite yet. Hit him with the Restless Prairie. Put him to 10. They get to crack back with the wagon here. Yeah, I think I need too many draws. Let's go down the Sheltered by Ghosts post board. Looks pretty bad here. Cast the Vestige. Yeah. I'm not coming back from this one. Okay. Well, we know what we're playing against. Go down the Shelter by Ghosts. Go up the Get Losts. Clarion Conqueror is another creature. And it shuts down their ability to use the wagons, which could be kind of relevant. Let's go down the Rest in Peace. I was wrong when I guessed that this was an Icetail Explorer deck. I think this looks good to me. No Seam Rips. No Shelter by Ghosts. Just a full playset of Get Losts. Pretty aggressively slanted still. That all seems right. Run it like that. Do you guys like my new Flubs the Fool drip, by the way? I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Alright, on the play. Got a mulligan this. 1 lander. We don't roll like that. This is a great hand. The one problem with this hand, though, as far as the, like, battler curve out goes, we're getting a little hit for being on these stomping grounds. It's gonna be okay. It's actually gonna be fine ultimately, but we can't do like a... No, actually, no, never mind. It's all fine. We're all good. We're all good. I think I'm gonna get rid of a Plains here. We go turn 2 Battler, turn 3... If we draw an untapped White Source Catharsis, but I think I want all these cards, right? I think I want all these cards. With the matching sleeves, too. That's right, dude. That's right. Beautiful little frog friend. Play our Battler. Get going this way. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Focus. The Eye of a Warrior. Heart of a Lion. Kithkin Soldier. Nino says, all right, posted it. Oh, I'm already subbed to your wonderful channel. Appreciate you, Nino. Thanks for stopping by. Hit him with the Kithkin. Let's not be foolish and let's get our land drops going. I think I'm going to go for the Brigid next turn. Helps me fight through Day of Black Sun a little bit, although they just ramped. I think I want to hold on to this Catharsis until I hit 6 mana, is one thing I'm kind of thinking about ahead of time here. There's a Day of Black Sun for 2. Well, that's okay. Oh, we draw a Kinsbale Aspirant. Let's go for the Kinsbale Aspirant then. As far as the sequencing of our list goes, best to get the Kinsbale on the field first. We're kind of at the mercy of their board wipes. A little rough. A little rough. A lot of board wipes from our opponent. Board wipe tribal. Summon Fenrir. Okay. Board wipes and ramp. I think we can beat this. Let's just be patient with our Catharses. Try to stack up some chip damage. The goal is to get our opponent to like 8 life and then finish them off with a full cast Catharsis. Yeah, it might be time for some Avens in the sideboard. We draw a Temple Garden. Not bad. I could also just go Thought Weft Lieutenant into Evoke Catharsis. That is kind of a lot of damage. That's 4 creatures total entering for the Kinsbell Aspirant. Plus we're seeing 3 Kithkin. So 6 triggers from our Thought Weft Lieutenants total. That is kind of 1,000,000 damage. On the other hand, if I wait a turn... It's kind of 1,000,000 damage. Wow. If I just play the Brigid here, the Kinsbell Aspirant will be a 4/3 base, 2/2 base here. I'm going to have to give something up. I don't think it's lethal, but it is 1,000,000 damage. I'm going to go for it. On account of the fact that it's 1,000,000 damage, and also it'll guarantee that I can swing through with this Thought Weft Lieutenant without it dying, which I think is a little bit important. It's 1,000,000 damage. They could wipe the board. But now we're set up for like future Catharses to be lethal, and they have to have a board wipe right now. And it kind of seems like they don't have a board wipe right now, which is ginormous. Are they just dead? Oh no! Oh, it's the tech. Okay, that's sweet. Oh shit, Catharsis? Okay, huge. Wow, if I had one more land, too, I could just go Brigid, Catharsis, kill them. Kind of a critical spot. I guess I just play the Brigid. What are the odds that they name Catharsis with the Rise of Sozin? Wow, that was kind of incredible. Please don't name Catharsis, bro. It doesn't do anything. It's the worst elemental by a lot. Come on. Name Kinsbell Aspirant. Name Eclipse Kithkin. Yeah, that'll be good. Bristlebane Battler. Fine. That's fine. Oh, no. No, no, no. Okay. Tight moment here. Big opportunity for us. Could have just killed them last turn if we had one more land. Tapped Overgrown Tomb. Sabsunen. Luxa Embodied. There's our one more land. I guess I'm going to pay to flip this. There's not much of a reason not to. I can't swing into the Sabsunen. Devin asks, what's the point of the warp though, lol, if they don't use the 2 mana left over? Because it only puts the permanent on the field when it leaves the battlefield. So they had to go for the warp if they wanted. I don't know. Card advantage is the question, maybe? Or is the answer? Maybe it's also the question. I guess I pass here. Extra blocker. It's starting to slip away. And there's an Ugin. Yeah, okay. Well, can't win them all, folks. Can't win them all. I haven't given up yet. But Ugin does make things pretty challenging here. There's a land. Maybe we go Catharsis, Catharsis. I don't think I have a choice but to swing in here. It's not great. But putting them to 3 and then maybe top decking another Catharsis is a potential way to win this. They have Black Sun. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. Our friend Eugene had to come in and ruin everything. Mono board white tribal is definitely going to be a problem for this list. Probably worth adjusting, adding some kind of, I don't know, Aven Interrupter plan to the sideboard for this kind of matchup. Probably worth adjusting. Into the next match. Unlucky. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just unlucky, of course. That's all. Don't sweat it. Just unlucky. That's right, Nacho. All right, a good moment to have a little dog cam sesh. Everyone say hi to Maple. This is my old greyhound. She's taking a little nap. She's very sweet. She just sleeps all day. And that was the dog cam sesh. Anyone going to F&M tonight? Any fun plans? Any fun decks brewing up? Anyone excited for Strixhaven? Any particular cards we're interested in? I've seen a lot of powerful stuff from the spoilers so far. Dog tax paid. That's right. Ooh. An orange agent says, I don't have a current standard deck going. Working on getting the Catharsis list going in the next week. Nice. Awesome. Maybe get some Aven Interrupters while you're at it. Hilson says, no, because the LGS insists on running pick 2 TMNT draft. Interesting. Are people there for that? Like, excited about it? I'm going to keep this. Double white, but our hand is mono white, so no problems there. With the Eclipsed Githyan, also, we can find a green source if we need it. Nino says, excited for Strixhaven. Nacho says, no F&M for me this week. Strixhaven, the Harry Potter of MTG. Oh, next week going with Sultai Deserts again. Let's go. Eroded Canyon. Lose a life, nerd. Okay. Little deserts action from our opponent. I always get my hopes up and always get disappointed. People are never actually playing deserts, but a boy can dream. Just gonna opt to go like this. I think it's always the most possible damage if we get the Kinsbale Aspirant on the field as quickly as possible. Mr. Lips asks, is there a link to the Discord? I'd like to share my Simic Otters for Mr. Turd to compare. It's not in the description of this stream, but you can find it in my channel description. Straight up, it's just in there. Also in the description to most of my videos now, I think. My recent stuff. I don't remember. It's out there somewhere. Definitely in my channel description, though. Hilson says, no, I walked by last week and they had 5 people for the TMNT pick 2. Yeah. That's rough. Munello says, I'm hyped for Strixhaven's Quandrix, the prof. Cascade gambling is fun. That, of all the Elder Dragons, that one caught my eye, too. I feel like it does a pretty decent effect when it enters. Obviously, Cascade, pretty good mechanic. But on top of that, just like also giving your instant and sorcery spells from hand Cascade. Can't complain about that too much. Let's grab our Temple Garden here. Swing on in. A little slick sequence from my opponent. Don't see this card too often. Deals 2 damage to any target. If you've cast another spell this turn, draw a card. I wonder if this is like a Grixis crime list. Devin Fuller says, we need a Teamer Deserts list. Well, fortunately for you, Devin, there is a Teamer Deserts video, Al. I've only done it the one time. Playing blue for Azure Beastbinder, with the idea basically being you get to turn 2 Beastbinder, turn 3 Free Strider Lookout, and trigger crime pretty immediately, along with Hired Claws and whatnot. kind of doing a little more of a tempo spin on it. It was interesting, but maybe not my favorite deserts list so far. Go for a battler here. Hit you for 2. Pass it back. Little island action. Hitting me with the old Razzle Dazzler. Okay. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a 1 counter on this. Can't be blocked. Interesting. These traditional standard events, you never know what you're going to get. You might just get hit by the old Razzle Dazzle.
Archmage is new!
Archmage is new! And another battler. Guess I'll go for another battler here. Scales pretty nicely. Seam Rip the Newt, because I'm scared. Actually, maybe I just seam Rip the Dazzler. Do I care about the Newt at all? I just block the Newt, right? Just block the Newt? Or just ignore the Newt, maybe? I don't know. Archmage's Newt, 2 mana, 2/2. When it's a salamander mount, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. Flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. That card gains flashback 0 until end of turn. Instead, if this creature is saddled. This is a card that I'm curious to try out myself. I have a playset for some reason on Arena, but I could never bring myself to do it because it's just like a 2 mana 2/2 that's just going to die to shock, you know what I mean? Maybe the Dream is good, but also the problem is Saddle 3 is kind of a big number for a blue deck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'm convinced on this one. Curious to see if it does anything for them. I love the art. Johann, Apprentice Sorcerer. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Once each turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from the top of your library. Just instants and sorceries, huh? Not big enough to crew the Newt. They get to hit me for 2. I accept. You may cast an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. Enjoy. Enjoy. We draw another Seam Rip. All right. I think I'm just going to manage their board here. See if they care about this at all. Ward 4 on my battler now. Don't fire magic me, bro. Don't fire magic me. Turd Gobbler says, I was sorted into Witherbloom, which is nonsense because I'm clearly a Quandrix player. I'm going to talk to the headmaster about this. Clearly a Quandrix player, huh? I was a big time Quandrix player at the advent of my Magic career. Prime Speaker Zagana EDH was my first love, and played a lot of Simic. I won a game day way back when on Simic Hydras when I first started playing when I was back in high school. Always loved Simic. Lately, a little less so. I feel like it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not going to complain about Badger Mole Cub again here on the channel. It's a little tried and true, but I just feel like right now, that's kind of the direction that Simic has been going in the past, I don't know, few years or so. Just being like so overtly powerful in a way that they're just much more proactive now in a way that I don't necessarily love. Like, you kind of have to just dump your hand in the Badger Mole Cub strategy. It's not that exciting to me. I know that's a very broad stroke painting. I'm not dissing Simic. I feel like when I think Simic right now, it's just like Simic Orbital Right, and that deck just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, is all I'm saying. Cast our Thoughtweft Lieutenant here. Buff this battler. Swing with 2 big boys. They have to block. Turd Gobbler says they simply need to unban Badger Mole Cub. No. Don't unban it. Do the opposite. It's interesting because it's definitely kept in check by certain decks, but if you're playing like a deck that doesn't keep it in check, you just, once again, it rears its ugly head and you see how oppressive that card is, you know? Not a huge fan of its design. I think it would have been fine if it said creature lands you control tap and add an extra green, right? If it didn't include like your Llanowar elves and your gene pollinators in its ability, I think it'd be probably fine. A much healthier card at the very least. It would still look very good in certain boards, but you'd have to be a little more all in on this Earthbend idea to pay it off. As it stands now, the ability to just like kill your opponent turn 3 with a Craterhoof Behemoth in Standard is a little ridiculous, I think. Even through like targeted interaction. Even through targeted interaction. Kill my opponent. On to game 3, or game 2 rather, against the old Butterbean. What am I playing against? What am I playing against? Some kind of spells list, maybe. I think I'm just gonna run it back. I'm not too worried. No offense. I'm not too worried. Not too worried. On the draw, pretty decent hand here. I get pinged. I love that they're playing the deserts, though. I'll be the first to say that. Play a Figure of Fable. Do you think there's ever really a reason to play the deserts outside of green, though? Like, for real question? I just feel like Outcaster Greenblade is the reason to be playing deserts. Maybe like a Grixis Crime deck. You could make an argument for that. I'm going to hold on to my Brigid here, or sorry, my Catharsis here. Turd Gobbler says, I miss This Town Ain't Big Enough every day. Nah, dude. That ain't it. That ain't it. That card was so annoying when it was in Standard. Specifically, though, I think Storm Chaser's talent has always secretly kind of been the problem. Little Voice of Victory action, but we also have the Brigid. I could also just level up the Figure of Fable. Maybe that's the best play. I'm kind of curious to know if they have anything that's not damage-based removal. Let's just hit him with this guy. Devin Fuller says, it's crazy that in paper, Simic Ouroboros is like a $900 Standard deck. Yeah, it's incredibly fucked up, actually. That's way too expensive for Standard. Surprise, surprise, all of the best, like, mythics and, like, it's just a deck that's all the best mythics, basically, right? It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. And I don't know, does it speak to a shift in Wizards' design philosophy, perhaps? Maybe? Just, like, pushing these cards and then, I don't know. That's just the natural result of things. You get these crazy expensive, like, pushed good stuff. It's essentially a good stuff deck, right? You're just playing, like, the best 2-drop ramp piece into the best thing to be, like, ramping into. The fact that Cub and Ouroboros work so, like, egregiously well together being a big problem. And then when they figured out that, actually, we don't need more than that to just close out games. You just play Quantum Riddlers because it's the best card advantage engine. Also happens to be in these colors. All works out pretty nicely for them. It's been kind of exciting to see the evolution of, like, the Gear Hulk lists popping up lately, though. Breaches the Blast Maker. 3 mana. 3/3 menace. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, flip a coin. When you win the flip, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. When you lose the flip, Breaches deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. And they've cast a Seize the Spoils as their second card. So they're going to flip a coin here. Wait, I thought they flipped a coin. I thought they sacrificed a treasure. Oh no, they played the Breaches. I thought they sacrificed a treasure. I'm so confused. Didn't they sacrifice a treasure? Help me out here. Am I going crazy? Swinging for 5. I think I'm going to play this Eclipse Kithkin. Try to hit my land drop here. There's my land drop here. Double red, double white. Play a Voice of Victory. Pass it back to you. Pretty big board here. Pretty big board. And we have that, like, nice little, like, 5 mana Brigid into double red Evoke Catharsis play. A moment ago, Connor said, I can't believe Hopeless Nightmare is banned in Standard. That card was fucked up. Okay, yeah. To be fair, that was another real problem with the Big Town, though. Imagine, you really want to be, like, get hit. You want to be getting hit with Hopeless Nightmare into Pixie into Hopeless Nightmare again and again in Standard. It's pretty messed up. Why does it do 2 damage? What's that about? Imagine. It might be good for Standard if Pixie was good again, though. That might be a net positive. I don't think I want to see this town in Standard with Badgermole Cub, but maybe Hopeless Nightmare could come back. Yeah, I was looking through cards for a upcoming video and remembered that Monstrous Rage is banned in Standard, which kind of makes me giggle a little bit. Which is just so funny. It's if you wanted to be reductive, right? It's Giant Growth plus with Trample. And that's banned in Standard. I don't know. I kind of think it died for Heartfire Heroes Sins, but at the same time, I don't think I would want to see Monstrous Rage being played alongside Slickshot Show Off in Standard right now, with the Rise in Prowess and whatnot, and being able to give, like, they would play it, I think, and be able to give their, like, Eddie Mert Crabs +3 in Trample, 3/1 in Trample. Sounds kind of messed up. Yeah, I don't know if I love the sound of that. Well, folks, we're 3-1. Been a kind of an interesting mix of matchups so far. Can Cathartic Kithkin for the third time in a row go 4-1 in these traditional Standard events? Would be a pretty good showing for the list. I think overall, my whole record on video now, I have 3 losses and 12 wins. 75% win rate. That's pretty good. No, better than a 75% win rate. That's an 80% win rate, right? Not bad. On the play for the final match here. These games are going fast. I mean, what do you expect? We're on pretty hard aggro. Got to mulligan that first hand, but this looks pretty good. I think I'm going to give up the Stomping Ground here. Is that crazy? I think I want everything else. And anything I draw at this point is kind of gas. Devin Fuller says, I honestly can't wait for rotation, TBH. Interesting. Interesting. Let's play another Figure of Fable here. Buff it out of Firebending Lesson range. Can't wait for rotation. I'm going to miss Deserts, though, Devin. Have you considered my feelings? Plays an Artist Talent. I think I'm going to go for the souped up Shelter by Ghosts on the Bristlebane Battler plan. Pretty nice draw with the Catharsis in hand. Another Artist Talent. Do I care about this? I think I actually just evoke the Catharsis next turn. I'm going to not get the full, like, Thought Weft Lieutenant buff, but buffing my Battler really is the important thing here. Make a pretty good board. Swing for 6. Pass it back. Pretty big board for us. The Ward 2 going to be a bit of a problem, kind of slipping on under everything that my opponent could do here. Combustion Technique On the Figure of Fable, interesting. They probably could have gotten a big enough combustion technique to kill the Battler with the discards from the Artist talent, but it looks like they just have a bunch of lands in hand. Let's chalk in, play this Thought Weft Lieutenant, and go for the Shelter by Ghost. Let's just try to go for the Throat here. They could have a Quench at this point, but I'm not scared. Send it. This resolves, nice. So now we have a huge Ward 4 Battler. They fire off an Abandoned Attachments, going digging. But with the Ward 4, I think it might be too little too late for our opponent. They have to find, like, exactly land plus Boomerang basics. Phantom Balatro, you son of a bitch. Hey, Eric, turns out I played against you yesterday and saw it in your video. Today, I was the Bright Glass Ouroboros list that you thought you beat, but double Ouroboros dealt 19 damage in one shot, lol. Dude, GG's love the content. Shout out to you, brother. I genuinely, oh my god. I was so mind fucked in that moment. I was like, no way. I have this wrapped up. I was doing victory laps and everything. I was like, I won. There's no way they can come back. And then I saw that you could kill the kill the hard light containment, and realized, oh my god, is the Ouroboros math strong enough? Do they have the will of the snake, plant snake, strongly enough to just one tap me? You son of a bitch. It was a good game though. It was a good game. Appreciate you stopping by. Well, actually, I've seen you around before. You're not new here. Just a funny coincidence. Wow. Funny coincidence. Cool deck. I mean, once again, I'm a big Bright Glass respecter. I just hate to see it paired with the with the evil Badgermole Cub. Do I really feel so strongly to say evil? But I don't know. If I start brewing with Badgermole Cub on this channel, people are just gonna get upset. Is all. A nice little game one for us against Is It Lessons. Nice little game one. What do we want for the sideboard? From the sideboard, Wreck Raids, Rest in Peace. I like the Ajani's. These post-board matches tend to be a little grindier. Let's dump the Get Losts. Seam Rip is pretty good. This could be a little tough on the draw. I think it's going to be basically down to whether or not we hit our Voice of Victories and Bristlebane Battlers. I think we just cut all of the Thought Weft Lieutenants. Too easily answered by our opponent's removal. Too easily answered. Munella1 says, when deserts rotate out, are you going to change the background of the intro? Where is the Gear Hulk going to reside next? The Gear Hulk will reside always forever in our hearts. Always forever in our hearts. Pretty good opener here. Phantom Balatro says, one day I'll run into you playing Deserts lol, but I'm not trying to lose my gem, so I use the OP Cub. Hey, respect. No hate here. I say son of a bitch lovingly. We'll Rest in Peace or Seam Rip the Grand. We draw a Rest in Peace. I say it lovingly, 100%. Let's just start ripping these Eclipsed Kithkin. See if they start countering them. They kind of have to counter them, right? Pretty good Into the Lessons here, I think. Grab a Kinsbale Aspirant. Accumulate Wisdom. Spire Bluff Canal. Brigid. Alright. Start swinging in. I'd like to go for the Rest in Peace, but I'd also kind of like for it to resolve. Firebending Lesson here. They could have a Quench in hand. Let's see if I can bait out a Quench on this Aspirant. I'm going to show them Brigid, I guess. Since I'm not casting it this turn or planning to cast it this turn. That resolves. And maybe I just go for another Aspirant. Although... Iroh's Demonstration, a possibility. Iroh's Demonstration. I also could just jam the Rest in Peace. I think I'm just gonna jam the Rest in Peace. Fuck it. Nice. And it's good. It's good, folks. The Rest in Peace is good, folks. The Rest in Peace is good. Let's go. Clean up their lessons. Pass it back. Monument to Endurance. Another Kinsbell Aspirant. Holy smokes. Let's play our Eclipsed Kithkin. Get a little more info. They don't have a Quench. Kithkin stay winning. Let's just grab another Eclipsed Kithkin. Do I commit? I'm just going to go for another Eclipsed Kithkin here. I know I could commit an Aspirant. But this is like pretty annoying for my opponent, no? I think it's better to do this, and then next turn, if they don't Iroh's Demonstration me, I'm kind of chilling. If they do Iroh's Demonstration, Broadside Barrage on my Kinsbell Aspirant. I think I probably would have gone for double Aspirant in that position, though, if I had double white left. But I could have only cast one Aspirant, so I think I'm okay with this. I'm just realizing how soft I am to Iroh's Demonstration is the thing. Draw a Figure of Fable. That's a pretty good draw, actually. Let's just jam. Behold. 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 Level this up. Play a tap Stomping Ground. Hit you for 4. Feeling like we're threatening lethal next turn. Devin Fuller says, as a Lessons gamer, you pretty much have to assume you will have no graveyard after game 1. Yeah, fair enough though, right? I don't think I want to be, obviously I don't want to get Ancestral recalled over and over. 2 mana available. Hey, let's just go for the Brigid. Quench this, bro. Quench this. Seer on a Kinsbell Aspirant. So, they're dead? Alright, pretty good run, folks. Pretty good run. Another 4-1 with the old Naya Kithkin build. Sheltered by Ghost for good measure. Sheltered by Ghost for good measure, people. Hit you for 11. Pretty good run. A nice mix of matchups, too. A little fun. Some non-meta, some meta. Good mix. Deck looked good. Lost to Board Wipe Tribal Ugin. What can you do? What can you do? You're the one, Jeremy, says says Nacho. Yeah, well, we had we didn't have a single Jeremy necessarily this that game, but everyone came together, played their part. Oh shit. Open some packs. Thank you, Turd Gobbler. Appreciate you, brother. Open some packs. Open a vault. Get some wild cards going, y'all. Let's go. 5 rares, 3 mythics. Any suggestions? Any suggestions? What should we be crafting? Check out the metagame challenge. Thank you for the reminder, Devin. I will take a look at that right now before my ADHD brain forgets. Metagame. Oh, okay. Standard metagame challenge. Bring your standard deck and play best of 3 matches. You'll receive. This is different than the traditional events. Metagame challenge. Receive rewards based on how many matches you win. Keep playing until you reach 1 match loss. Holy smokes. Interesting. Is this available all the time, or is it only up certain parts of the week? What are the options? I don't know. The options are kind of limitless. I think it probably makes sense to start hoarding some wild cards for my for Strixhaven. Basically, I think it'll make sense to have a good stockpile of mythics and rares for that. Only available for once a month. Okay. Like for a few days every month? I'll have to try one out. Maybe with Cathartic Hithkin. We'll give it a run. See how that goes. There's nothing really left in the TMNT like rares, mythic rares pile that I'm catalog that I'm super interested in. Although someone suggested the Last Ronin as a one of in deserts. Turn target creature. It seems okay. Meh. I don't know that this would be better than Rise of Sozin necessarily. 1 weekend a month. Okay. Thank you for the info. I will have to check that out. Still haven't pulled out my Mutagen Man Living Ooze biotech specialist list yet. Waiting on that. Waiting to craft some Michelangelo. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe we get our Mutagen game going. But as for now, I'm not going to be doing a metagame challenge right now, but maybe for a video in the next few days, I'll peep this. As for now, let's go ahead and check out, drumroll, Turd Gobblers, Simic Otter combo list. Turd Gobbler, friend of the show, donated to see this played. Playing it on stream here today. I noticed, by the way, off top, Turd Gobbler, 61 card special. What a Spice Lord. The 61 card special. 24 lands. And it looks like, so I played this around with this a little bit. The main goal seems to be you do the classic thing with Valley Floodcaller plus Enduring Vitality. Try to have a pretty big board of Otters slash like Earthbent lands, but also Furdot Core benefits from the untapping for the Valley Floodcaller to generate a bunch of mana. At a certain point, go infinite by Boomerang Basics slash Storm Chaser Talent level 2 over and over, and kill your opponent with like infinitely large Otters. It seems to be the thing going on here. A couple Nature's Rhythm for a little added consistency. Couple Meringue River Regent that you can, it seems like a flexible choice, to be honest. You can Nature's Rhythm for this when you have 1,000,000 mana, maybe just hard cast it or coil and catch. And then a lot of dig. Not a whole lot of interaction up front, but a lot of card advantage and ways to consistently try to hit the combo. As for the sideboard, looks like a couple 3 steps ahead, couple Pick Your Poison, Soul Guide Lanterns, Detect Intrusion, River Turn Monument, Heritage Wreck. Just a nice little collection of 2 ofs for our sideboard here. Yes, the idea is the deck you eventually go infinite. If you have enough Otters, if you have enough like things on the board that are untapping, and Badgermole Cub helps you go infinite much faster, basically, to be able to just Boomerang Basics a talent over and over. Looks fun. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but that's good for me to get some reps in. Curious about these formidable speakers in the side, but I'm gonna save most of my comments for after a few ranked games. So let's hop in. At a measly platinum, reset back to platinum after the ranked reset here. Haven't really been playing on the ladder too much. Mostly just doing events for videos as of late. Turd Gobbler says, for the record, I'd like to say that my mana base and my card count are vibes based. I'm happy and open to criticism. I respect the 61 card special. I understand that logically, this seems like a good hand. Logically, being on 60 cards is better, technically. But at the same time, I've definitely been the type of person to run the 61 card special on occasion myself. Because the math can't matter that much. Turd Gobbler says you can play unranked, dude. No, what's the point of that? Cast a Badgermole Cub, turn 2. On the breeding pool. Doesn't super matter here. Don't be under the impression that I care about my rank that much, because I really don't. And we're going to win anyway. We're going to win anyway. It's the Badgermole Cub mirror. I don't see this too often. Looks like my opponent's on a bit of spice. Redshift, Rocketeer Chief. X mana of any one color where X is Redshift's power. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. Interesting. Well, step one, we play an Enduring Vitality. Maybe? I mean, I definitely need to hit my land drops, but it is kind of nice that Enduring Vitality turns on Badgermole Cub as a way to add extra mana. I think I just need to stock up here. Grab a Willow Rush Verge. I have the combo in hand, basically. Let's just hit land drops. Do I care about bouncing their shit? This is the pizza combo? Okay, good to know. Should I bounce the Redshift? Should I bounce the Redshift? Thank you for the heads up. Do I bounce the Redshift? Are they just going to kill me next turn? Spend this mana, only activate abilities. I'm going to wait a second for a little response here. I've not played against this. Guac Pizza Infinite combo. How quickly can they go off? I would imagine pretty quickly with this much mana on the field. If it isn't summoning sick, they go infinite. Okay. Thank you, Phantom Balatro. You want to trade Cubs? Trade Cubs? Nope. Okay. They don't want to trade Cubs. They don't want to trade Cubs. We can always pick up the Boomerang basics out of our graveyard too with the Auroral Procession here. Devin Fuller says needs Chrome Dome, I thought. Well, there's the Chrome Dome. Right on cue. Trying to think of how this goes infinite. Create a token that's hasty. So this taps for 3 mana. Oh, but they also have to have a way to buff its power, right? So once they buff this to like a 5 power creature, they can go infinite with the Chrome Dome. Is that right? Or they make infinite copies of... They make infinite copies of the Guac, which untaps Redshift, so on and so forth. Okay. Play the Enduring Vitality here. Quite a lot of mana we have access to now. 4 mana. Instant speed Flood Caller, and then try to go infinite on their turn. I guess actually I just have to... Do I just bounce the Redshift here? I'm just going to bounce the Redshift here. Oh, no, Oh, yeah, I can. Bounce the Redshift. Keep them off the combo. Combo v combo. There's Redshift. I have enough mana to Nature's Rhythm for a River Regent here, which is kind of sick nasty. I love that. I'm a big fan of that. Send this back. Guess you can have the Chrome Dome. It doesn't super matter. Maybe I just reset an elf here. Doesn't super matter. Swinging for 3. I think that's okay. And then I get to Nature's Rhythm for another Meringue River Regent next turn and just keep them keep them off of this forever, basically. I'm a big fan of Nature's Rhythm for Meringue River Regent. I was doing something similar with Simic Oculus deck using using Pugnacious Hammerskull to cast to harmonize big River Regents out of the graveyard, or harmonize big Nature's Rhythms out of the graveyard. Tap this. Go for another one. Oh baby. It's another Meringue River Regent. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Keep you off the combo forever. Hit you in the face. What is this? Sewer Valence Cam. When it enters or leaves, tap or untap target creature. Okay. I'm going to use it to... I'm going to use this mana to cast my Valley Floodcaller here, I guess. We're all in. But they're kind of dead in the air next turn, no? I guess they get to sack a Sewer Cam to tap down one of my Regents. But how do I go infinite? I mean, if I just draw, like, anything, basically, at this point, I have a million bajillion mana and can probably find a way to kill them. At the same time, they're kind of threatening to kill me here pretty soon. I don't know. It feels like they're missing a piece, right? Oh, is this it? This taps for 3. Oh, this isn't quite it. Oh, they're just using this to, Devin Fuller says that's also a Chrome copy target to tap your stuff down and swing with a 1,000,000 damage redshift. But how does the redshift get bigger? What is this? Enters, you may search the library for a food card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Cool. Guac and marshmallow pizza. Phantom Balotro says the cam also gets copied once you have the combo to both tap down all blockers and draw infinite cards. Is this happening before mine very eyes? Is this happening before mine very eyes? Just trying to parse it. 5 mana to copy a Sewer Valence Cam. But this isn't infinite yet, right? Yeah, they have a lot of mana, but it's not infinite yet. They can tap down my Regents, but they might have to block in a bad way. Storm Chaser. Hey, look, it's Storm Chaser's talent. Check this one out. I think this'll do it, right? Hey, it's Storm Chaser's talent. All right, I'm just gonna assume this is the path. Wait, hold on. Oh, I fucked up. Otter Jones, no, I fucked up. I should have tapped my Valley Floodcaller first. I'm gonna learn my lesson right here. Tap my Valley Floodcaller. Is this good enough is the question. It's gonna be decent. Hold on. Because they can sacrifice, they have 6 mana. They can sacrifice a Sewer Valence Cam. Do they also have enough mana to make 2 of them? And sack? Can they make one sack? No, probably not, right? Grab the basics. Yeah, sorry, Turd Gobbler. I fucked up, bro. You gotta forgive me. Boomerang basics. I don't know if I can win from this position, can I? I don't think this is Boomerang Infinite yet because I don't have enough. I'm not making enough mana on each loop. I think I'm only making 2 per. We do get some redraws, which is pretty good. Tap the Floodcaller, replay. Make some guys. If I had a way to give these otters haste, we'd be cooking. Level up. I'm just going to do this for a little while until I hopefully draw into some real action. Actually, am I supposed to just pick up my River Regent and recast it? If I just pick up the River Regent and recast it, I can keep them from comboing next turn, right? I guess we'll move it. Let's move into combat. Let's make them do their thing. See what they decide they want to do. They tap a River Regent, y'all. They only tap one, though. Swing with these guys. Force some blocks. No, you're Otter Jones, you're missing them being able to make one more Sewer Valence Cam and tap my dragon. Tap my dwagon. So now we pick up a Regent. And just recast it, right? Play a Dwagon. Bounce their Rocketeer. Bounce their Chrome Dome. Tax their mana a little bit that way. Well, this has been interesting. I don't know if this is all correct. I maybe flubbed a little bit by not tapping the Valley Flood Caller on that first Storm Chasers talent cast, but would I have been able to do more with the mana? I guess so. We'll see if they can win. They can't win without the Redshift, right? Is that right? Unless they have maybe like another Badgermole Cub here. If they have triple Cub, I think they draw their deck at the very least. Agatha of the Vile Cauldron. Activated abilities, creatures you control cost X less to activate, where X is Agatha's power. That sounds like an infinite to me. Other creatures you control get 1/1, gain trample, and haste until end of turn. So they buff the power of Chrome Dome, making its buff Agatha's power, making Chrome Dome's active free. And then now that they can activate Chrome Dome's ability infinitely, they tap my board and buff their whole board. Okay. Understood. Have a nice day. Understood. Have a nice day. Okay. This kind of magic hurts my brain. My simple mid-range desert's brain is simply too small for this kind of magic. Well, I think we want the detect intrusions to be able to counter a critical. That's maybe not worth it. It's maybe not worth it. Do we just run it back? I kind of feel like I want like bounce off somewhere in the sideboard here. Do we just run it back? Pizza combo, huh? Heritage Wreck technically stops the combo, I guess, and Heritage Wreck kills their Chrome Domes or whatever they're called. That's probably worth bringing in. Pick your poison. They're going to have too many artifacts and stuff for this to be good. I think it's just that. Let's bring that in. Go down in an Auroral Procession. Auroral. Go down a Furdock Core. That's just what my gut says, but I don't know. That's just what my gut says, but I don't freaking know, dude. Green combo mirrors, huh? Let's see if we can be faster this time. We looked pretty good for a little while. When we went back-to-back Meringue River region, I was like, okay, I think I'm winning this one. But then they introduced the ability to tap my Dwagons, and I crumbled. Lead on a Storm Chaser's talent. I like the Vitality in hand. Llanowar Elves. There's my Flood Caller. Okay. I'm gonna do a little trick they don't teach you in Magic School. Hit him with the shocked breeding pool. Hold up full control. Pretend I have spell snare. They play around spell snare, maybe. Mona Lisa, Science Geek, reach, add X mana of any one color where X is Mona Lisa's power. The pizza combo. We draw our land. Absolutely ginormous. It's got to be a flood caller angle, no? We just pass and pretend we have interaction, flash in the flood caller, hit them with the enduring vitality, try to combo off. We're actually really close. If we draw like... So we do all that. We untap with Otter, Caller, play an Enduring Vitality, 3 mana, cast a Winter Night Stories, untap everything. If we draw a Badgermole Cub off of that, then we probably get to go infinite. If we hit like Badgermole Cub plus Boomerang basics. Pass it back. Mona Lisa is redshift, but better for the combo, by the way. Okay. Redshift, but better for the combo. There's redshift. You'll find no spell snare here. I see you already have Mona Lisa on the field, which is why I'm not playing it. Idiot. Just playing. They swing in with Mona Lisa. The pizza thing has flash, right? I'm not falling for your tricks. Player Flood Caller. See if it's any good. What you got? Burst Lightning. No! My whole plan crumbles. Botanical Sanctum. My whole plan crumbles. Are you talking about last game, Munello? We're in this game. Focus up. Botanical Sanctum, Winter Night Stories. I mean, Vitality on the field opens up my mana the most for next turn, but... Yeah, I guess this lets me play the River Regent next turn. Pass it back. And we get to hold up our spell snare still. That makes sense to me, Phantom Balatro. That makes sense to me. Badgermole Cub. Infinite mana incoming. Hello? What you got here? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Nice little peanut butter and banana toast from my lovely wife. Thank you. Oh no, is it happening? Oh no, is it happening? Formidable Speaker. And they find the Chrome Dome, and I'm dead. Wow. Wow. I mean, with Badgermole Cub, anything is truly possible, right? With Badgermole Cub, anything is truly possible. Holy smokes. Am I just dead to this? It's infinite mana, and then they make infinite... This doesn't have trample, though. It's infinite life, technically, right? That's cool. So I guess in paper you would scoop to infinite life. It's crazy. It's infinite combos always kind of make me laugh because sometimes you end up with like infinite 1/1 tokens, you know. Sometimes you end up with infinite power on a scaling like creature like this. But the fact that this is like infinite mana and by extension infinite power and by extension infinite guac and marshmallow pizzas, which is also by extension infinite life, that's kind of interesting. But I'm not dead yet, technically, right? IZ22 back at it. My non-magic playing friend says, "Have no idea what I'm looking at, but you may be behind on this one." It is 4 attacking creatures. Okay. You have correctly assessed, IZ22. You have correctly assessed that I am behind on this one. My opponent has infinite guac and marshmallow pizza, fresh from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set in Magic. Controversial, I know. And they are now using these infinite pizzas to give infinite power to 4 different creatures. And I only have 3 blockers, so yes, I am dead. I am dead. Get cheesed by the pizza. Good joke, Otter Jones. Stealing that one. RIP in peace. Fun matchup. Opponent perhaps a little faster than what we're doing here. On to the next one. RIP in peace. Make them click through. We'll call this the carpal tunnel combo. No. IZ22 correctly assesses the state of the board by saying, ha ha ha, what the fuck? Yeah, dude, I know. Guac and marshmallow pizza. All right. Match 1 in the books. Kind of a weird matchup to run into, to be fair. Can't really say much about our list, but I did like being able to have big mana to harmonize for Meringue River regions. One suggestion, and this may go against the spirit of the deck, just play 1 Ouroboride, brother. I mean, that seems like a pretty good option, no? Just to be able to harmonize for, or Nature's Rhythm for. We'll keep this. I think I always keep Cub plus Enduring Vitality. Catharsis would have won, I know it. That's the spirit, dude. That's the spirit. Go for the Cub. Like, in this position, if I just had an Ouroboride in my deck, it could open up the possibility of your opponent using their removal early on it to then, like, sneak through your Otter combo. Okay. Play the Enduring Vitality. I mean, Cub plus Vitality is kind of crazy. Now we have enough mana to flash in a Flood Caller. That shit's kind of nuts, actually. that shit's kind of nuts. They should ban Cub. To nuke Steadfast second, I gotta put my banana toast down. All right, well, we've got ourselves a game. They fully tap out. Let's see if I can just kill them here. This one's for the Gobbler. Shock in the Multiversal Passage. Tap everything. Put your faith in your top decks. Let's go for the stock up. We get to see more cards this way. Untap the Otter. Badgermole Cub. Auroral Procession. We can tap the Flood Caller again. Actually, let's play New Cub first. It's more mana if we play New Cub first. Play New Cub. Target the Breeding Pool. Tap for mana. Cast a Winter Night Stories here. We might be able to get an infinitely large Flood Caller and then just bounce there to nuke. Actually, I think we want the Cub here. Discard these. Play New Cub. Earthbend. Now the Valley Flood Caller taps for 4, which is kind of key. Let's Winter Night Stories. Oh no. Okay, we're fine. We're chilling. Procession, stock up. Tap the Flood Caller. I mean, 3 Cubs on the field feels like cheating. 3 Cubs on the field feels like cheating. There's a Nature's Rhythm. That seems like a pretty good grab. There's a Storm Chaser's Talent. Actually, another Flood Caller is actually infinite with the Storm Chaser's Talent, right? Because we get 2 triggers on the stack. So we go Flood Caller. Tap this guy. Storm Chaser's Talent. 2 triggers now from our Flood Callers. Means that we're generating a million bajillion mana every time we do this. I think I have to hold priority, though. Not a big deal, because we have infinite mana. Bounce the Storm Chaser's Talent. And that's enough. And that's enough. They see it. Infinite mana. Eventually pick up our Boomerang basics. Kill them. All right. We did it. Was that turn 3 or turn 4? That must have been turn... That must have been turn 4. That must have been turn 4. It didn't matter, Turd Gobbler. It didn't matter. We did the combo. We did the combo. What more could you ask for, dude? Pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it is fun to infinite combo. And my opponent fully scoops it up. Can I get +2s in chat for Turd Gobbler? Opponent fully scoops it up to seeing the combo on turn 4. I don't think it was turn 3, right? I went turn 2 Badgermole Cub, turn 3 Vitality, turn 3 Vitality into Flood Caller, and then untapped turn 4 and killed them. On the play for match 3. Okay, is this good? We can do better. My first card comes in turn 3. We can do better. This is good-ish. Put back the Auroral Procession. At least it has tools to find the busted cards. I'll hit you with a +2 in chat, Turd Gobbler. Here you go, brother. Storm Chaser's Talent from our opponent. Botanical Sanctum. Botanical Sanctum. Little Is It Prowess action. How do we fare against Is It Prowess? How do we fare? I think one problem for me personally, one problem up front is I tend to really like decks that have interaction. I don't know if y'all can tell, but basically no interaction in our main board is a little scary for me, and I don't really like being at the whims of like my opponent just doing their thing and killing me. Like, who can do the thing faster? That's not really a knock on the construction of the deck, but I think personally maybe I haven't played with this list enough, but I'm almost wondering if you can skip on the Auroral Processions and just play bounce offs or something. I don't know. I guess it depends on what your meta looks like. If your opponent is trying to interact with you and not doing something particularly quick and proactive themselves, being on like greedier cards like Auroral Procession and whatnot is definitely the angle, but otherwise, I like to not die to my opponent's slick shot show offs, you know what I mean? Burst Lightning to the face. Turd Gobbler says, do you know what card would make both of us happy, Eric? This town ain't big enough. Well, some of us more than others, perhaps. They have a pretty good curve out here and just absolutely ranch me. Deserved. Deserved. On to game 2 here against Is It Prowess? On the play, I don't think I want any of this. I think I just want to try to do my thing as quickly as possible. Yeah, I'm just going to skip here. I'm just going to skip. That's what my gut says. If I had, like, bounce offs, I'd probably bring in a couple bounce offs. But maybe you just try to do your thing as quickly as possible, or like spell pierces, maybe. I feel like you could justify some spell pierces somewhere in the main / side just to like protect your combo. Yeah. Mr. Lips adds, that's the reason I went to the frogs with Bushwhack and hard hitting. Felt like I needed a little interaction and things I can block with to get to a combo, but it definitely doesn't combo as hard. Okay. Seems good enough. It's close. We can Nature's Rhythm for a cub. Yeah, the core maybe seems a little win more for this strategy. I don't know. I haven't cast the core yet, but it is competing quite a lot with our other 3 drops, you know? Wow, Badgermole Cub is a really nice draw for us. Let's go for the Cub. A lot of blue mana, or sorry, green mana, perhaps, unfortunately. Bushwhack is interesting, though. I mean, increases your range of keepable hands. Sometimes you just clear a blocker with a big Valley Flood Caller or whatever, big otter. Seems fine. Well, let's try to do the thing. I mean, this is the thing that won us that previous game. Go for the Enduring Vitality. Just pass, I suppose. We get to flash in a Flood Caller. And then Nature's Rhythm for... I don't know. Just a big Dwagon, maybe. Just Nature's Rhythm for the big Dwagon. Probably just a big Dwagon angle. Maybe like an Ouroboros angle. Appreciate you stopping by, Phantom Balatro. Sorry for calling you a son of a bitch earlier, but thank you for hanging out with us. GG's, brother. GG's. Peace. Flash in the Valley Flood Caller. It could just die. It definitely could just die. Oh, I'm a big Balatro fan. I know, but please, Phantom Balatro was my father. Phantom Balatro was my father. Just call me Phantom. Big Balatro head over here. Play a forest. I think they could have a spell snare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nature's Rhythm for 8. Sorry, X is 6. They spell snare it, or spell pierce it. Yeah, let's just go for the stock up, I guess. Another Cub. Storm Chaser's Talent. It's nasty work, people. It's nasty work. Go for another Cub. More mana. Going crazy. 6 mana? Imagine I just go for an Ouroboros right now, Turd Gobbler. Like, just win. You know, just win the fairway. If I go for a Flood Caller, cast a Storm Chaser... Yeah, I can't quite combo. I guess I Storm Chaser's Talent and activate it. Pick up a stock up. That all seems pretty good. My opponent's not super pressuring me. I could have swung with the Enduring Vitality first. Vigilance. Something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. They're swinging for 1. Okay. You got it. Slag Storm. No. Okay. Well, I'm kind of chilling though, actually. Feel like I'm doing all right. Elusive Otter. Auroral Procession. So we rhythm for another cub. Try to go for another setup here, right? I feel like cub is just the most likely thing to result in us doing really busted stuff. Storm Chaser's Talent. If you're curious about this list, by the way, Turd Gobbler's Simic Otter combo. The link is in the description of this stream if you want to check it out for yourself. On the Mox Field. Shocks in a Multiversal Passage. Activates the Storm Chaser's Talent. Picks up the Slag Storm again. Interesting. Well, we just straight up draw a River Regent. I think I just cast that, no? I mean, what do they even do about this? Slag Storm be damned, right? Bounce their token. Pick up my Storm Chaser's Talent. Replay the Storm Chaser's Talent. I mean, they get to Slag Storm, but do I really care that much? That's kind of their whole turn, and they kill off the Elusive Otter. Maybe I was supposed to pick up my Badgermole Cub, actually. A lot of options. Turns out this deck has a lot of options. I just block like this. I'm going to assume they're going for the Slag Storm. And they scoop it up. Okay, great. Yeah, it's big River Regent. Sometimes that'll just win a game for sure, for sure. On the draw, do we want to change our sideboard plan? I don't think so. I don't think so. Is that wrong? Do you guys think that's wrong? Like not boarding anything here? I feel like they're going to bring in some interaction. I would bring in like interaction if I felt like there was decent interaction here for the matchup, like a couple bounce offs, but otherwise probably just better to run the combo and not really bog down our combo too much here. Yeah, just run it back. I like SGL for the crabs. Soul Guide Lantern? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem super worth it if we, like, reduce our ability to hit the combo at that point. Maybe you could justify one. Go down in a Auroral Procession. Seems okay. Pass it back. A little bit of a loose hand. No real pieces of the combo here quite yet. Slickshot Show Off. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a real problem. Well, let's just try to slow them down a little, I guess. Bounce the Show Off back to the hand. They obviously get to just replay it, but buys me a turn, I think. Slickshot Show Off. Swang it in. Go for our Winter Night Stories. I feel a Spell Pierce coming on. No Spell Pierce. Wow. Draw a million lands. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have kept this in retrospect. Maybe you just need some of the pieces up front. You just can't rely on digging for everything. Another Slickshot Show Off. Yeah, I don't really like being at the mercy of this kind of start, to be honest with you. Which it should be pretty apparent from how often I have Pyroclasms in my sideboard. I feel like this is so beatable if you have the right cards for it. And if you're in a strategy like this that's just like Glass Cannon combo, it kind of puts you in a position where you're allowing yourself to like get play draw diffed. I think I get to Nature's Rhythm for a river region next turn, though. Oh, no. Not quite. Not quite. Well, is there any fighting back out of this one? They're swinging in. Yeah, try to block an Otter, I guess. Into the Floodmaw on my land. Trade. Okay. Land is a good sign. Play a forest. Yeah, I'm dead. I mean, even if I bounce their stuff. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick fiver. No, call it like a 2-minuter. I'll be right back in 2 minutes. I have to go feed my dog. Okay, we're back. Turd Gobbler says, "Hey, thanks for running it. Now can you like fix it while you eat banana toast? You want me to fix it?" Well, I have some thoughts, I guess. I think the core is obviously pretty strong. So if we just take a look at the core, what is that? It seems pretty obvious to me that it is this. Boomerang Basics, Storm Chaser's Talent, Badgermole Cub, Valley Flood Caller, Enduring Vitality. How do you go from here? I feel like way back when we were seeing Teamer do this thing, basically. What were they in red for? Weren't they playing like Ral for a little extra grind? It's been a while since I've seen these lists pop up. Some amount of Ral, another way to grind, put more Otters on the field, and eventually combo off with, also gives you pretty good card advantage. I also feel like I'm just gonna tell you to play Teamer Otter combo. Is that funny or what? I don't know. I also feel like you get access to Pyroclasm in the sideboard, which I think is kind of good right now. But if you wanted to stick to just Simic, and that was your your calling card, so on and so forth. I genuinely, yes, Munello is memeing, but suggests fill it up with mythic good stuff. I kind of think that's the angle. I used to play Teamer and ran out of cards all the time. Make it Teamer, I don't care. I think, okay. Teamer Otters has been done and tested. I'm kind of curious about, can we do this in Simic? Can we just keep it Simic? Rather than just like do a tried and true thing. It's been done before. Can we keep it Simic and make this somewhere in between like the fair list and the combo list? So my first instinct when playing this was, we're making a lot of creatures, why don't we just play Ouroboros? At least some amount. And I feel like we can bump up our Nature's Rhythm to a full playset. And can we also just play Spider-Man Infestation? Or do we not have enough 3 and 4 or 4+ drops to justify this? Leyline Weaver. What about that Simic guy from Spider-Man that makes a copy? What about that Simic guy from Spider-Man that makes a copy? Oh, the Jackal? Drunith, Reviver of the Hive. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value equal to Drunith's power, copy that spell, except it isn't legendary. Yeah. I kind of actually just like the one of Ouroboros Nature's Rhythm idea. I don't know that we need more dorks. But is there some other way to pay off, like, making more tokens with non-creature permanents? Mockingbird. Mockingbird is a pretty interesting angle. Being able to copy Badgermole Cub's obviously the biggest plus there. I don't know that it necessarily makes sense with everything else going on, especially if we don't commit to the dorks idea. One other angle we could take this is just like build it like the Simic Ouroboros list, right? Just go up the Ouroboros and then just plan to use everything else to combo. Basically, like we have this fair angle, but maybe we just Ouroboros our opponent. Or sorry, we have the combo angle, but maybe we just Ouroboros our opponent. But I feel like then at that point we're not. Well, maybe you just play the Simic Ouroboros list. How can we diversify ourselves? I'm curious to know if there are more of this kind of thing, like Storm Chaser's talent, that can build a relatively wide board to make use of the extra mana of this combination of Enduring Vitality and Badgermole Cub. Like, are there non-dork creatures that are worth playing that can increase our consistency to, like, pull this combo off? Some more early stuff to not just lose to aggro decks would be good. I agree. I agree. Bonnie Paul top end and call it a day. Elusive Otter is an otter and a spell. That's true. That's an interesting angle. Otterball Antics. Create a 1/1 blue otter. Probably too expensive. I'm thinking like a 1-drop, but the problem with playing a 1-drop dork with Enduring Vitality is just the redundancy, right? Edge Rover, 2/2 reach, contests. We'll watch this on VOD. Gotta go play Park Ranger Simulator. Okay. Later, Turd Gobbler. I'll spend a little bit of time exploring some ideas here, and then probably be getting off myself soon. Ending the stream myself soon in the next half an hour or so. Maybe a little sooner than that. But I'll spend some time thinking about this. Thanks again for the dono. Appreciate you hanging out with me here. Good luck with your Park Ranger Simulator. Peter Porker in the chat. Why Peter Porker? Well, Valley Flood Caller untaps birds, frogs, otters, rats. Maybe that's an interesting angle to consider. Mockingbird being a bird, kind of interesting. And being able to copy the Badgermole cubs. Maybe that is enough. Maybe you just go up Mockingbirds, increase the likelihood of you pulling off this, like, busted extra Badgermole cub thing. I kind of like that, actually, to be honest. I feel like we need one other, like, playable 1 or 2 drop for that to really make sense. Because this stays a bird. It's a bird in addition to its other types and has flying, which increases the likelihood of you having something relevant on the field for Valley Flood Caller to go off with. Wasn't this unremarkable 1/2? There's this unremarkable 1/2 flash that reduces power of a creature by 2. Maybe. I don't think we want to go that deep. I feel like we want the card quality to be generally pretty high still. There's Kishla Skimmer. Peter Porker, buff the otters and the birds. Yeah, I think we can do better than that, though, than just buffing the otters and the birds. Ouroboros is a problem because if you don't answer it, it actually just kills you on the following turn, basically. Just giving a little anthem is probably not that worth. Splash Portal. There's Kitsa, Otterball Elite. Being able to, like, untap Kitsa over and over with the Valley Flood Caller is kind of interesting. There's also Thundertrap Trainer. I don't know that our spell density is high enough for the trainer, though. I'm kind of thinking, like, what if there's, like, a good proactive 1-drop for us to think about? Any good rats in the chat? Azure Beastbinder. Probably no green rats. Frogs. Frogs. Frog. Frog. Sunshower Druid. Clifftop Lookout. Valley Mite Caller. Whenever another frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel. Okay. Not quite what we want. Poison Dart. More mana generation. Paw Patch Recruit. Doesn't work with Valley Flood Caller here. Pond Prophet. Just redraws. Hey, what's good with Badgermole Cub and having a lot of mana? Just redrawing. What's good with Enduring Vitality? Just having bodies. I don't think that's that crazy. Also gives more cheap targets for Mockingbird to be relevant with. Genghis Frog. Genghis Frog. Pawn Prophet pretty decent. Yeah, I think so. Frog Butler. 1/1 Death Touch. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Pawn Prophet also gives us more Boomerang basic targets, actually. Just being able to pick up our frogs like that. Now we're somewhere in between strict combo and just having, like, a relatively decent fair game plan, which I kind of like. We don't have a whole lot of creatures. Like, we don't have a whole lot of non-creatures. Our non-creature density is relatively low. But at the same time, if we hit the combo, we don't really need a lot of non-creature stuff going on. I like the 1 of Ouroboros. I don't think our mana is fast enough to justify, like, a 1 of Craterhoof Behemoth. What up, DPO? Mr. Lips says, been loving the content, Eric. Heading back to work. I'm going to try this iteration when I'm off. Appreciate you stopping by, Mr. Lips. Thank you. Don't take my word as gospel. These are my, this is my first chance really looking at this list. I mean, obviously I played it a little bit off stream, as I mentioned, but if it sounds like Turd Gobbler's been climbing with it for a while, so I would you know, test new ideas, but always think for yourself and iterate for yourself whatever you're playing. This is interesting. I think this is an interesting angle. This is reminding that I hate WotC for not getting Spider-Man on Arena and being expected to know 2 different names for the same card. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. I think this is actually pretty close to something good. I think what I'm missing now, stock up? Yeah, maybe just like stock ups. Some kind of way to dig and extra non-creature stuff. Maybe it is just stock up. Let's take a look at instants and sorceries that we can consider here. I think the Cub and Rhythms are necessary. I wanted to do without it, but it's just too good, I think. Yeah, I think it seems like the best consistent game plan to pull off the combo. It's a little worse. There's this weird tension of like, you want Dorks for Cub, but you don't want Dorks because of the redundancy from Enduring Vitality, but maybe that's the wrong perspective. Maybe just being on a playset of Llanowar Elves is the most likely to lead to like you doing busted stuff. It's not an instant or sorcery. Okay, everyone knows what Llanowar Elves is though. Let's consider these options here. Boomerang Basics. Okay, Bounce Off is interesting. Elusive Otter. Also kind of interesting actually. More guys on the field. Not that likely to get big, but yeah, maybe not worth it. I feel like Splash Portal has really piqued my curiosity. You just Splash Portal your Pawn Profits, and like Splash Portaling your Badgermole Cubs is not the worst thing to be doing to set up big mana turns. Maybe that's not good enough though. Maybe that's not good enough. I feel like we want like real card advantage. Three mana is probably too expensive. I don't know. Maybe stock up's just the thing. But at the same time, I almost feel like we're incentivized to it is a good mana sink, that's true. I feel like we're incentivized to play instant speed card advantage being on Valley Flood Callers. The other thing that you can do, actually, this is kind of an interesting angle. Let's talk about a card that is instant, generates card advantage, and is good with a lot of mana. It's 3 steps ahead, right? Casting this to be able to filter is not the worst. You can discard Nature's Rhythms, you can interact with your opponent, and eventually maybe you just have a million bajillion mana to create a token copy of your Valley Flood Callers to combo off that much faster, or copy your Badgermole Cubs to combo off that much faster. Is that crazy? It's worth trying, maybe. I also like that it gives you the angle of like holding up, flash in the Valley Flood Callers. And then if you don't need to counter something, you get to flash in the Valley Flood Caller and maybe use this to combo off. I think it's worth considering at least a couple in the main. There's also things like Analyze the Pollen. This was played pretty heavily back when like the Teamer Otters list was running around. I'm pretty sure they had this in their list. Eventually, late game, you just use it to find your missing combo piece. It also, you could just play a couple, like Bushwhacks. Actually, maybe Analyze the Pollen is just better. You just play a couple Analyze the Pollen. In tandem with your 3 steps ahead, you could set up pretty big. You can set up pretty big, like, collect the ability to collect evidence decently in your graveyard. Munella 1 says, what would be all of the draw options in blue-green? It's like 3 steps ahead, stock up, consult the star charts. Winter Night Stories. Yeah, it's kind of those, right? Esper Origins is 2 spells. Probably not good enough. I think you probably want real card advantage. I don't think I believe in the Auroral Procession loop, personally. It's just a little expensive, cute. I don't know. I think this is a strong card in a vacuum, but I don't think it actually increases your odds of comboing, probably. I kind of like this as a one of in certain like big grindy decks with board wipes, maybe. Repulsive Mutation. That is kind of an interesting angle for the sideboard. X11 counters on target creature you control, then counter up to 1 target spell unless its controller pays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So if you just like go turn 1 Storm Chaser's Talent, turn 2 hold up a Repulsive Mutation, that's kind of a counter unless you pay 2 kind of situation. Lessons from Life. Googs Gazuli, Lessons from Life in the chat. I do like that card. Also Meringue River Regent. Yeah, I think a one of Meringue River Regent makes sense. Lessons from Life. Maybe. Draw 3 is a pretty big deal. More lands on the field, probably also a pretty big deal. I think partly we want to take advantage of the fact that Valley Floodcaller has flash, though, and trend towards something. I think we're pretty incentivized to play an instant as our card advantage. So yeah, I definitely think we want 1 Meringue River Regent. Is it crazy to run a full play set? Is it crazy to run just this as our card advantage, though? I don't think we have enough mana. Not being on the dorks makes our mana situation a little worse. The other kind of fun thing, though, is we get a lot of points in, like, other Badgermole Cub deck matchups by being on a playset of Mockingbirds, just to be able to copy their dorks. Which is kind of interesting. 24 lands. I think we can cut down to 22. 2 left over here. Maybe we run like 2 3 steps ahead, 1 River Regent. I'm curious to try this out. You guys curious to try this out? It's a little all in. I have a feeling ultimately we will choose to cut down on the Mockingbirds, but I'm kind of curious to try them out at the very least. See if they increase our ability to combo off. I also feel like we might as well be on a playset of Botanical Sanctum. And I'm kind of a sucker for the Restless Lands, to be honest with you. At least 1. I run 3 Meringue in my Simic Kona Omniscience deck. Well, it makes sense there. We're not as going to be able to consistently cheat out the Meringue River Regents, right? Let's mess with the sideboard a little bit here. Formidable Speaker, huh? Maybe there's an argument for the Formidable Speakers. Actually, I think I do want 1 Keen-Eyed Curator. Am I allowed to play Surak? I feel like Surak's kind of interesting. Not that bad. Couple flash freezes seem right in the meta. Couple spell pierces seem right to me. I don't... Do we care about our opponent's graveyards? Is Soul Guide Lantern even really worth it? I don't know that Soul Guide Lantern is that worth it. Maybe. Maybe against the really dedicated graveyard decks, but then we have, like, Keen-Eyed Curator as an option. I'm more interested in interacting with my opponents on the stack, I think, than messing with their graveyards. And Knolls? The combo makes infinite mana in theory, right? Yeah, but it also just kills your opponent. If you're making infinite mana, you're probably just killing your opponent. For the most part, I think. And I think having one Meringue River Regent is enough. We can Nature's Rhythm for it. Seems right to me. Thinking about the meta. Flash Freeze, Detect Intrusion, that seems fine. Spell Pierce, fine. Surak, maybe just like a fair card. Enduring Curiosity, that's kind of interesting. Something, how do we win against Prowess? How do we survive? Like, I was saying bounce off, or I feel like Unable to Scream also pretty good. Maybe we just bring in some Unable to Screams. Just up our odds against, like, really fast aggro quite a lot that way. Yeah, I don't even think I would care about the Soul Guide Lanterns. Just give me a playset of Unable to Scream. How do we win against Lessons, though? If we're on the Unable to Screams, we just bring in Spell Pierces and Detect Intrusions and Heritage Rex for Lessons. How do we win against Lessons? I don't know. Let's run it like this for a little bit. See if this is worth anything for us here. Take it into at least one ranked match and see if we learned anything. See if it even works. I'm curious to know if it even frickin' works, dude. Does it even frickin' work, or did I just take Turd Gobbler's deck and absolutely ruin it? I don't know. Let's find out. Bounce off and Spell Snare. Yeah, probably. A lot of options. Hey, you guys ever feel like there are just too many frickin' options when it comes to Magic the Gathering? You just, like, have analysis paralysis and you can't even figure out what you want to put in your sideboard. And then you just say, fuck it. It doesn't matter. Just run 4 Unable to Screams. Thank you, Nacho. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. Appreciate the, once again, appreciate the Catharsis Dono. That turned into a fun series of videos and runs for me. Thank you for the suggestion. If anyone else has any cards they're interested in seeing built around, like our friend Nacho there with the Cathartic Kithkin, details for how you can go about that, get in touch with me in my Discord, which you can find on my YouTube channel page. Our deck is so powerful, we force a draw before even finding a match. I recently also had our friend Large Fish donated to see an Archon of the Wild Rose deck built. I struggled with that for a little bit, but I eventually stumbled on something that was kind of cool. I hope it at least looks kind of cool. The video for that will be posted a couple days from now. Saturday or Sunday, I believe. Sunday. There's something really funny to me about the juxtaposition between this Ninja Turtle and Flubs. Okay, well, gotta mulligan this. We have a Cub. We have a Mockingbird. Talent. I mean, this is the hand, right? Do I care about the talent that much here, actually? I don't know that I need the talent. Honestly, why I think the meta decks have little interaction, just who can do the thing first. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Why spend all that time worrying about my answers in my sideboard when I can just present good questions, present good threats. Gene Pollinator. Gonna peg them on the Bant Toolbox list. Mockingbird. Okay. Me too, my friend. Me too, my friend. A little bit of a different spin here. See how crazy they go. Seam Rip. On my cub. RIP in peace. Maybe a one of Rex Sage in the side with the increase in Bant Toolbox lists on the ladder. Could be worth considering as a Nature's Rhythm target. For sure, for sure. I swing in with the Genes. Tapped Breeding Pool. Double Mockingbird, huh? Do I just Mockingbird Island? I think I just Mockingbird Island, right? It's actually just a better mana dork. It'd be nice if they had it'd be nice if they had a Badgermole Cub for me to copy, but I think I don't mind getting extra dorks this way. Swing for one. Bird Bard with flying. Not technically a Bird Bard. Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Okay. So next turn we can go Flash of Valley Flood Caller. Boomerang Basics the Seam Rip. Play an Enduring Vitality and have a million mana to work with. It is kind of menacing. Breeding Pool. That's a good draw. I think I'm just going to play it tapped, though, and just go through with exactly what I described last turn. There's kind of a chance we just untap and win with the Nature's Rhythm, maybe. Let's consider, if I had Craterhoof Behemoth in my deck, could I just Craterhoof them with this line? Probably not, right? But I can Nature's Rhythm for an Ouroboros and maybe be the first to get them with the Ouroboros. Another Mockingbird for more Gear Hulk action. It's pretty good. I hear that's a good card. People should be checking out, maybe. I hear it's a pretty good card. Swing with the Gear Hulk. No Blockaroonies. All right, folks. See if this is any kind of good here. Flash in the Flood Caller. Bounce the Seam Rip. Try to do combo shenanigans. Big mana. Another Boomerang Basics. If we had a creature to Boomerang Basics, that would be good. What would that look like? Tap this stuff. Play an Enduring Vitality. Tap my guys. Nature's Rhythm for... I guess I get another cub here. Maybe they just scooped this. Maybe they think I have... Wait, hold on. Let's think about the mana we have. 2 in the pool. That's another cub. I guess I have to tap the Valley Flood Caller. That's another cub. And then I just Craterhoof my opponent, theoretically, if I had Craterhoof in my deck. It's kind of interesting to think about. Tap like this. Untap the Valley Flood Caller. grab a cub. On this island, has flying. Bajillion mana. Go for my theoretical Crater Hoof, right? 8. Yeah, I mean, I could just Crater Hoof them, right? Untap the Valley Flood Caller. Maybe you just should be playing Crater Hoof if you have Badgermal Cub plus Nature's Rhythm in your deck, you know? Instead, we get to go Meringue River Region. I guess that's our best hit. Grab the River Regent. Do I want to bounce your guy? Probably not. Bounce your Gene Pollinators. Oh, I have to choose my attackers? It hates what I've done. Okay, well, that was kind of interesting, folks. It was kind of an interesting exploration of the possibilities, I suppose. We very quickly found ourselves in a position where we had enough mana to just Crater Hoof our opponent and kill them, right? They go for a Melt Strider's Resolve on the Valley Flood Caller here. Interesting. I guess I just pick it up. Guess I just pick it up. Ooh, another Boomerang Basics. Okay. And then I get to recast it, actually. And then Seam Rip. And then pick up my Meringue River Regent. Seam Rip on my Cub. Okay. They don't have a whole lot of mana to work with here. Mockingbird. X2. Oh, they want an Enduring Vitality. Oh, they've seen what I'm up to, and they said I want a taste of that for myself. Okay. I see, I see. Tap Starting Town. They have enough mana to copy my Meringue River Regent. But what do they bounce? My Enduring Vitality? Are we just going to be bouncing each other's regions back and forth forever? This has been pretty interesting. I think theoretically everything we've done so far you could do in the initial build. They bounce my stuff. I could just Coil and Catch. Seam Rip. Seam Rip on my Cub. Gene Pollinator. Alright, let's flash in the Flood Caller. More bodies for my Enduring Vitality. Enduring Vitality. So we bounce the Seam Rip. Unlock the Infinite Mana Glitch. Play a Vitality. Tap this guy. I think I want to Coil and Catch. Can I do better than that? And this has become a fucked up game. This has become a fucked up game. Can I do better than Coil and Catch? I could just cast a Regent, but what do I even bounce? They're just gonna Seam Rip my Cubs again. Maybe I just need it for blocks. I'm just trying to find like combo angle, you know what I mean? I think I want to see more cards. Untap the Flood Caller. Mockingbird. Okay. I like the sound of that. Mockingbird your Bright Glass Gear Hulk. Find Storm Chaser's Talents and start untapping my Valley Flood Callers. Just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I don't have a whole lot of time to make decisions. Make another otter. Untap my shit. Make another otter. Untap my shit. Activate a Storm Chaser's talent. Get back a Boomerang basics. And now they have to kill me here. Which they can't quite kill me here. Unless they do that. Why don't we have that in our deck? Why don't we have that? Bring in the flash freezes. That was kind of crazy. I feel like we flew a little too close to the sun, perhaps, but just testing out ideas. Bring in the flash freezes. Bring in the unable to screams. Pretty nice stone rain effect against them. Do we want the Surax, actually? The Surax could add up if they're relying on like seam rips to manage my Badgermole Cubs. Let's go down 3 steps ahead. Let's go down. Pawn Profit is probably not super necessary. Let's go down. I feel like we could cut a couple Nature's Rhythms, maybe. Our stuff isn't going to be interacted with too much. Jay Sather says, I'm tempted to try to get you to mess around with my 4-color humans ETB list. Have you linked it in the Discord yet, Jay Sather? It is kind of interesting to think about. Like, we could have just Crater Hoofed our opponent. I know I keep kind of harping on this, but maybe that is kind of an angle for this list. It outside of the infinite, right? Enduring Vitality plus Storm Chaser's Talents plus Badgermole Cub with the Nature's Rhythm to find that sort of combo is just going to naturally lead to a lot of mana, the same way that like the Simic Ouroboros lists do. Maybe having that, like, I have big mana out. I have that big mana just like kill you sort of play is worth considering. Mulligan that first hand. Put back a forest. Pass. Not a great opener, but not awful. Couple pieces of our combo here. Llanowar Elves. Nature's Rhythm. Do we bounce an elf? Probably not. Let's just hold on to the basics here for our Flood Caller. Leyline Weaver. Llanowar Elves. Pass it back. Badgermole Cub. Infinity mana. Would be a good spot for Spell Snare to be pretty good. Spell Snare is kind of good in the meta right now. Good against Cubs, good against Slick Shot Show-Offs. Nature's Rhythm for 2. Witness the awesome might of a true Nature's Rhythm combo deck. All you need is 3 mana dorks and 2 Badgermole Cubs. And you too can have a Crater Hoof Behemoth. Six mana. I guess they get an Ouroboros here. Yeah. Not a whole lot I can do about that, to be honest with you. Turns out Cub plus Boyd stays winning. Flash in my Flood Caller. Block the Leyline Weaver. Just kidding. Storm Chaser's Talent. Okay. I don't think we're very close here, though. I'm also, I'll be honest with you, I'm also on team, quote, Cubs gotta go, Jay Sather. I'm also on team Cubs gotta go. It's like, 1 in a vacuum is very powerful. 2 is crazy. The jump from like 1 on the board to 2 on the board is just so insane. No other 2-drop scales that way in Standard. It's insane. Enduring Vitality. Tap for blue. Storm Chaser's Talent. Make Otter. Tap for blue. Boomerang Basics. Pick this up. Oh, and then they just Crater Hoof me, and then I die. Okay, well, fair enough. GG's. Let's run it 450? 450, huh? Yeah, I think I should get ready for F&M. I should get ready for F&M. 450. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Let me know what you think of my recent decks or whatever. Hit up my socials or whatever. Join the Discord. If you have burning deck lists or inquiries and you want to share and want my opinion or critique, fun space to hang out. A lot of good activity there. It's pretty low-key. It's pretty chill. Not particularly silly. No like dumb memes flying around. It's pretty much just like, you know, people stop by and they send their deck lists and whatnot. There is a memes corner if you want to share memes. It's a fun spot to hang out. It's pretty cool. We've been discussing spoilers lately. But if you don't want to join, you don't have to. Appreciate y'all watching. Otter Jones is team captain of the Discord. That is true. That is true. Jay Sather says, needed to cost 3 to 4 to cast. Probably needed to say only land creatures. Agreed. Yeah, I think it would have been played as a 3-drop. Isn't that crazy? It's still on par stats-wise. Anyway, you're getting me off topic. Badger Mole Cub is a fucked up card. Thank you, an Orange Agent. Appreciate you hanging out, watching. Good luck tonight, you say. Appreciate ya. I think I'll be on Jund Deserts unless I find the willpower to put together a different deck at the last minute. Jay Sather says, I'll drop the 4-color humans list in the cord for you to look at whenever you are bored. I always open up the Discord when I'm just hanging out bored. I will admit, I look at it probably 5-10 times a day. I like to stay up to date with my peeps in there. So if you drop a deck list, I will almost guaranteed take a look at it. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Cub merch when? I don't know. I don't think we'll be seeing any Cub merch. Maybe some Deserts merch would be fun. I don't even know what that would look like. I got a little bit on my plate right now, just getting ahead on my content. I have a couple desert videos in the pipeline, and well, one more desert video in the pipeline right now for tomorrow, and then a viewer submitted donor request that Archon of the Archon of the Wild Rose list video that will be coming up Sunday. So here's a little spoiler look at that if people are curious. Captain of Badger Hate, maybe, yeah, I think so. Hey ho ho, Badger Bowl has got to go. True. All right, folks. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Hope you have a beautiful night. Catch you on the next one. See you next Friday, 2 p.m. for the next stream. Yeah, stay frosty out there. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.